Welcome back to Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, where last time we were just kind of exploring space and traveling around between systems. Trying to think of what specific events happened. No particular order, because I can't remember the order. We found in one system kind of like these ancient ruins that had like a weird puzzle in it, where there were basically like these big old. There's like this, I guess, plaque wall thing with like kind of like artistically made that had like a bit of a face, like an alien face in it, perhaps even warp face in it, and in the mouth of this face was like a chest, and then there were these like pillars all around it. That once you activated like the central one, like shot light up in the air, and then you kind of had to aim the light at different bits at the different surrounding pillars to form like little beams of light that formed certain patterns. Yeah, activating the first one, it proved to not work, as there was a previous, now seemingly dead, crew of people that had explored this place, as we judge from a basically a captain's log, it seems, of a dude who got fucked up by failing the puzzle. We uncovered like another secret pattern that was beneath some rubble. So we did that one, and that managed to open the chest. We had also found like a cracked chest somewhere else in the area, so we like soldered that in, but could not figure out how to open it. So I think I might have missed a awareness check somewhere to find like another hidden sigil glyph thing. And so then we left. Let's see what else. We fought some pirates in one system. We attempted to fight some warp ships, I guess. Got like fucking ass kicked thoroughly multiple times, because I attempted it multiple times. And then eventually I was just like, I don't think my ship is leveled up enough for this. So we abandoned that. What else? I know there was more, I just can't quite remember what they all were. I know we had a few. We found like a downed Inquisition ship on a like remote, like snowy world, and we explored it. Brought Heinrich with us, found like a lot of fleshy fungus stuff growing deeper in, and we started seeing like visions of what happened on the ship, as we learned that this was apparently a black ship of the Imperium, which is a ship that transports psychers from the various worlds of the Imperium to Terra, so that the psychers there can be either sacrificed to the God Emperor or sent to like the Psyker schools or whatever, to be put to use by the Imperium militarily. Had a yawn there. And yeah, we saw like visions of what happened on the ship. So like the first vision we saw was the Inquisitors like opening fire on some psychers that were in some cells. We then also found one of a Inquisitor like staff person kind of going wild, and eventually we got to the point where we came to like this room that had some turrets in it and like a bunch of dead infected people kind of rose from the dead, and we had to fight them off. And that led us deeper in to this place that had like this orb thing that kept summoning hordes of undead, and every time you killed one of them, like the orb thing took like some damage. You couldn't directly attack it or damage it, so you had to defeat it through killing wave after wave of Nurgle cultists, basically. Or Nurgle, like, infected, like warp-infected humanoids. But we eventually did it. And it was a very long fight, and we left and blew the fucking ship up. We were given the option of what to do. And we're like, yep, board this ship from orbit. And so we did. And that was basically where we left off. I'm sure there were other things that happened, I just can't remember. I know we had a few random encounters during travel. That was basically just fighting. A lot of Nurgle cultists that we've been fighting lately. But, you know, yeah. We're trying to look for, Java Gamma. But we're not really finding it. I think it's supposed to be. Actually, where is it supposed to be? Tranach. So we're at Mundus Valantius, which is right there. But, like, no sign of Tranach. Unbeholden reaches. Spooky. I think the rings we didn't have the resources to go into. I did not go there. Bunch of shit there. Alright. Let's go. Metagate teams from the lower decks reported the appearance of a dense purple fog that causes people to develop mutant deformities. Short tentacles roughly the length of a pinky finger. Since the deformities do not interfere with the crew's performance, the Medicae are not certain whether this phenomenon should be a cause for concern, but the riffraff are already whispering of heresy. Order to have the tentacles surgically removed, organize prayers and sacred rituals to banish the fog, exterminate the corrupted crew members. Why can't we do, like, all three?
Catwalk has paid their guild dues for 33 months. Yippee.
Yeah. Made a poor financial investment. 33 months in a row. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. How you doing, Cap? I feel like the thing we should do first is just get rid of the fog. Led by the ecclesiarchs of the preachers of the ecclesiarchy, the voidsmen gather for a mass prayer as the priest chanted holy verses to banish the corruption. Some of the more severely infested crew members failed to endure the celebration of the god emperor's glory and perished before the vessel could leave the immaterial. Yeah, good. Just woke up. Nice. Addermat. Forward. Nothing? Oh, nope. Enemies of humanity have been spotted aboard the ship. Warp beasts have enthralled the crew in charge of one of the macro cannons and massacred those who resisted the heresy. The Lord Captain is their only hope. Done that one before. Oh! Automatically going in. Lord Captain, emergency report. The augurs have detected several void ships slowly encircling us. Our requests for this pursuit to cease have been completely ignored, but an unmanned vessel has been dispatched in our direction, broadcasting only 2 words: Gift and Hadari. Exalted One, incinerate those void jackals. What does it mean? Jay's agitated voice comes on the Vox channel. Shireen, this whole thing stinks worse than a dead Grox, and it's also eerily similar to how Casbalakin agents operate. With your permission, I would like to see what kind of gift those tight-lipped ashmags have sent me. The Vox Master patiently awaits your instructions, flipping switches and occasionally emitting crackling static from her integrated Vox system. What ships are they? A frigate and 4 raiders, Lord Captain. No identifying marks, so they're probably pirates. Although the Augur Master reports that they are well coordinated, more so than your typical void rabble. Should contact the pursuer's flagship. Apologies, Lord Captain. Our attempted calls to the unknown pursuer's ships are being automatically relayed to the beacon on the pilotless vessel. Colliger's plot. Hem. Alright, yeah. Sure. It will be done, Lord Captain. Shuttle carrying a retrieval team and bomb disposal specialists is already en route. Several tense hours go by. All the while, Jay Hadari paces back and forth across the captain's bridge. But at the first shriek of the sirens announcing the shuttle's return, she rushes down to the lower decks. Core, no! Jay's outburst blares from the comm bead, momentarily deafening you and a third of the officers on the bridge listening on the Vox channel. No. Why was the Exalted One doom so kind-hearted a person to such a fate? What void beast has done this to you? The Voxcaster picks up a quiet sob, the whining screech of an augment on the bulkhead panels, the crunching of metal fingers, and Jay cuts the Vox connection. Lord Captain, the returning Voidborn report that the package for Jay Hadari was the head of a young man. Vigdis types swiftly at the cogitator's keys. According to our archives, he was a member of her trade network on Footfall. The deceased is Trickster Core, one of the Trickster twins who engage in suspect commercial activity on the station's asteroids with Mistress Hidari. Static comes over the line, the siren blares again, and the Voxmaster turns to you. We have finally been alerted to an incoming Vox transmission. My officers are standing by to connect you to the unidentified parties. Avoid dogs snapping at the Rogue Trader. Except the Vox transmission. This should be interesting. Load the artillery and allow the ships to draw closer, then connect me. Few warning shots should help us help this meeting along. Fire. Do not parley with aggressors. Except the Vox transmission. This should be interesting. It will be done, Lord Captain. A minute later, the Vox line crackles with static, followed by a rough, drunken voice. Well, I'll be. It's related this Rogue Trader von Throne-damned Valachius. Humbly tug my forelock to you, milady. We mean no offense. Our convoy is but a mark of respect for your holy self. Should have stopped to talk to us. Wouldn't have stopped to talk to us, would you, if we hadn't got your officers a good scare, eh? Where are my manners? You forgot to introduce myself. Toto the Vulture, at your most humble service. Pathetic moniker. Couldn't come up with anything better. Your gift, what do you mean by it? Oh, that. Toto the Vulture laughs, and it sounds like the giggling of an innocent little boy. Little boy with a frog in his throat. Just a little joke to raise a smile, your ladyness. And a warning for one slippery little rat. You see, a little bird told my boss, that the rat I'm after is on your ship. And we're the best rat catchers this side of the maw. You're a trader ship. So, we're ready to take that problem right off your hands. All you have to do is put J. Hidari on a pod, send her straight to the coordinates we'll give you. My boss has been after her a while, and he's generous to those who help him. Yo, no vulture, Toto. You're the worst kind of ashmag. A voice just as rough as Toto the Vulture's burst onto the Vox channel. Tell me, you son of a crox and a void jackal, who sent you? And the critter runs right into the trap. The Vulture chuckles hoarsely. Afraid I can't reveal his name. What can your boss offer me? Shireen, are you serious? The best weapons, supplies of rare artifacts, trading sites across the expanse, gratitude, take your pick. And my retinue, and you threaten me. So the answer's no, then. Yeah, that's probably for the best, your ladyship. I make a bad negotiator, but a damn fine pirate. Before the transmission cuts off, you hear a rasping shout. Falco says hi, J. Hidari, and screw you. This shouldn't be too bad. We'll see. Get up here. Oh, even closer. Only be used during the acceleration phase.
The destination is known. Let the macro cannon sing their twisted song!
Wanna do this? Bonk. Man. Buddy, thrown, we're gonna die. Good now. Need these to blow up. There we go. And we level up. The ship leveled up. Alright. Reinforced shields. Chosen sector of the void ships. Void shields are reinforced until it's that first damage. The reinforced sector has an increased chance of absorbing enemy attacks and loses only half of its strength when absorbing damage. Rise up its maneuvering, shoot pulse. Hmm. No, even this. I don't know who gives me this. Okay. Oh, cool. All right. Let's see. Boarding party. The flagship. One enemy creature within 20 cell radius. Flagship launches a boarding party to infiltrate the enemy ship, starting internal fires and possibly causing engine damage that cripples the ship for 1 round. It can be used only once per round. Duration 1 round plus every 10 points in the post officer's persuasion skill. Good. The flagship's torpedo tubes are looted with 3 torpedo salvos instead of 1. At the end of each turn, the most damaged sector of the flagship shields restore up to 50% of its strength. Duration +1 for every 10 points tech use. Maximum overdrive. To the end of combat, the flagship speed is increased by 2 and its maneuverability is increased by 1. The bonus damage dealt by Void Ship Ram based on the direction traveled is increased by 100%. Fury and Storm. Make 7 attacks, each of which targets a random enemy in an 8-cell range and deals 8 to 14 warp damage. Can only be used once per round, plus 1 round for every 10 points in lore warp. Premonition. The flagship's augers scan the area for favorable tactical positions. While the flagship is in such a position, its evasion is increased by 35. Okay, okay. Kind of like that one. I also kind of like this one. Interior of this ship is on fire. The ship suffers 5 to 10 damage each round. Like, how do I know who gets it? Ring run, focused efforts. Here in Storm also sounds pretty nice. Yeah, obviously you get that. Ultimate abilities. Your ship now has access to an ultimate ability. It can drastically change the tide of battle. Try using your ultimate ability and see for yourself. Note that you can only use one ultimate ability per combat. Ultimate abilities are so powerful that they take a significantly longer time to recharge. When using ultimate abilities, be aware that they may still be on cooldown the next time you enter battle. Oh, interesting. The ship's ultimate cooldown bar gradually fills up on each of your flagship's turns in combat at the end of each combat and as a result of certain events during space exploration. Cool. Neato. Oh, there's like skill requirements for things to unlock stuff. Okay. Beetle. Yeah. Two adamantine. I've seen a planet burn once before. Kazar Maga. Exterminatus was invoked. Incendiary cyclonic torpedoes were deployed. The world burned for several months until there was nothing but ash. Bizarre ruins. Scrap and ship repairs. You don't have enough readily available scrap to repair your ship, but you still have options if you're willing to sacrifice some of your ship's upgrades. Open the Void Ship Management screen, left click on it, and select Downgrade. The current level of the component will be lowered as it is stripped from the ship and turned into spare scrap. A portion of the original investment that can be used to repair your ship. You can only obtain scrap from ship components if you have previously installed an upgrade for that component. Try to keep enough spare scrap on hand so as to not find yourself in a situation where you are forced to sacrifice critical ship parts for repairs. Okay. A box notification from the Augur crew drowns out the usual noise on the bridge. An Imperial vessel, the Dark Piercer, and its escort ships are headed your way. Your archive makes no mention of either the ship or its owner. As you consider your course of action, the ship's captain contacts you first, introducing himself as the Pilgrim. The captain greets the Rogue Trader courteously and offers to purchase any information you might have on crystal phlogiston deposits. That's why the captain calls himself the Pilgrim. The captain admits he has not always done the right thing in his life, but he once beheld the blessing of the Emperor himself and has followed a special path of service to him ever since. That is the path he now treads as the Pilgrim. That's why the Pilgrim needs phlogiston. The captain's coarse laughter echoes forth from the Vox. Phlogiston is a part and parcel of many different aspects of life in the Imperium. How exactly his customers are going to use it is none of his concern. All that the Pilgrim promises is that the phlogiston will be used for the good of humanity. Pascal becomes visibly animated at the mention of phlogiston. Though indifferent to the prospect of a deal with the shadowy individual, the Magos nonetheless recommend you find out more about phlogiston deposits. Your own protectorate would benefit from the knowledge. Sister Argenta sincerely believes the words of the Pilgrim. A cowl or a golden aquila are no prerequisites for being his true servant. If the captain sincerely wants to help the Imperium, perhaps by his own methods, there is nothing questionable about extending a helping hand. Valuable information exchanged for granted the Pilgrim the right to mine phlogiston using the Von Valakis extractiums. That's what you will receive in return. Pilgrim has been exploring the Cornus Expanse for years and knows many of its secrets. She promises to let you in on intriguing rumors that may be of interest, some with your skills and capabilities. Why don't you consider the proposal? It looks like this was the exact decision the captain of the Dark Piercer expected you to make. Okay. Propose a deal. Valuable information in exchange for granting the Pilgrim the right to mine phlogiston using the Von Valachius extractants. Captain the Dark Piercer is in the best of spirits. In gratitude for your invaluable help, he sends you a small box containing ancient maps and documents. They appear to speak of a certain imperial world lost many centuries ago. Then, in a somewhat conspiratorial tone, the Pilgrim relates a story about a standoff between two Xenos fleets, which he was told by an acquaintance. The person in question, sadly enough, died at the hands of the Inquisition before they were able to pass on the coordinates for the crash site of one of the Xenos ships. However, the Pilgrim knows for a fact that the vessel met its demise on an ocean world. See you. Alright, let's see what this is. The bizarre structure observed from orbit appears to be the ruined estate of a wealthy noble. Further searching reveals the remains of an envirodome, a landing pad, the main manor, and servants' quarters. It is impossible to determine what exactly happened here. The search team has found something truly disturbing in the main hall. An opaquely clothed skeleton sitting at the dinner table. The table is set with gold plates covered with old blood and piles of bones. The bones on the plate are clearly human. No other remains have been found on the estate. Search through. The scout team returns with some expensive weapons taken from the skeleton. After finishing their report, they hurry away whispering prayers. Assault las gun? Yeah, nah. Nah, fuck that. I don't want no ghosts on my ship. I've already got one. And that's enough. Let the fire purge it. Fire consumes the sinister ruins. The Imperium's faithful children will not tolerate any impurity on their path. Got some rep with the bush religions. Time for you. Colliger's plot. Cash on Kiava Gamma. Von Doyle. Colliger's plot. Kind of pirate related, you know? Oh, yes. The epitomis for Colliger. Welcome, your Lady Liz. Please, please, come right in. Our chief is waiting for you. And you, nitwits, something. Don't fight too fast. Put your gawking and get to work. plate reads, Lethano's Pride. The name Lethano surfaces in your mind, the history of a family from the Cornish Expanse who invested all they had in a family ship. The ship perished in the warp on its maiden voyage. The Lethano line never recovered from this crushing blow. And who's that speaking? Pascal. An initial survey of the vessel indicates that my explorator brethren have already performed a requiem rite here. Further examination is inadvisable. Winkies. How far have we fallen? The rogue trader digging through rubbish? I can scarcely speak for grief. What about the sagacious raiders rooting around in the guts of this dead colossus of the void? Talk to them. Wisdom can be found in unexpected places, Cherie. I don't go that way. Who's there? Looks real noble-like.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed.
Yoink.
Observation report on Henrik Kalos. The unit's professional skills make him a suitable candidate for data interrogator servo skull conversion. I am proposing...
Yeah? You are proposing what? Brenda. Tired-looking woman of indeterminate age, clad in work clothes, breaks off from her task to greet you. She freezes momentarily, clearly unsure how to address you, then says simply, "Your ladyship, please excuse me. I don't really know your name. Welcome to our little colony. May the light of the Emperor be with you and with us. My name's Reda Maximova. I'm in charge here. Would you believe it? Well-spoken rabble. It's rather sweet in its own way. Go on, then. Amuse me. Tell me about yourself in this place. What is this place? I'm not going to be super condescending. We just call ourselves Reta's crew, and this place is Reta's camp. That's it. We're recollegers, scavengers in common terms. She does not speak the word scavengers with any kind of disdain. On the contrary, there is dignity in her voice, the kind with which one would announce their affiliation with a respected guild or family. Tossing a glance at Pascal, she grimly adds, "And our work is all legal, even though your brethren have no liking for us." Pascal stares dispassionately at Reda with a hint of disgust. Evidently, he has not even considered the possibility that replying to this creature's words would be anything other than heresy. What do you do here? Right now, we're gutting this old heap of junk, slowly but surely. That's a recolleger's life for you. They drop us off at some decrepit station or an ancient battlefield, and we just sit there for years on end. We look for working tech or valuable materials or whatever else might be useful. If we find anything, we sell it to passing ships. Not the easiest job out there. These wrecks are chock full of all kinds of dangers. But, and I swear on my plasma torch, is an exciting one for sure. This little bird's got all kinds of bells and whistles. Most of the tech is dead, but we do find working pieces now and again. We spent 2 whole months clearing out this shaft we found. Finished just 3 days ago, actually. And we found this thing. A bit weird looking, but still functional. Reda's expression brightens a little. Perhaps your ladyship would like to buy this component from us. I'll bet that big ship you've got could get plenty of use out of it. Pascal's vox crackles to life. Imperiously, he tells her, "Present the object, laywoman." But curiosity creeps in his voice nonetheless. Alright, sure. rechargeable battery. Well, isn't this something? The Emperor himself must have smiled upon us. Retta makes a triumphant gesture. I mean, thank you, your ladyship. You'll be pleased with the results. Magnus class rechargeable battery. Yo, we got some battery. Fuck yeah. Mood visibly improves. You know, your ladyship, kind of embarrassing to offer you this, but over in that corner there, we keep things we don't rightly understand or can't really use. You could send some of your people to check it out if you'd like. Clearly, you know more about this stuff than us. You might find something useful. Got your own ship? No, not even close. A luxury like that, you could count the recallers who got their own ship on one hand. An old worker's hand that got sucked into machinery 3 times and slashed by a plasma cutter twice. We fly with whoever, mostly just taking our chances. Sometimes we hitch a ride on the promise that we'll pay with what we find later. Other times we find some other means. Risky business, obviously. 5 or so years back, the crew got dropped off at an abandoned station, but something wasn't right with the life support system. The ship came back to pick us up 2 years later and found nothing but bodies. And about 15 years ago, back before I had my first little one, a ship took 3 crews to locations and ran into pirates on the way back. Ships go out on expeditions for years at a time, so it was ages before anyone realized they were missing, and it was even longer before they remembered the scavengers. Plus, it took some time to find a ship that could check on them and pick them up. Long story short, all 3 crews had bought it. Yep. Can you tell me anything about this wreck? Not much. We're no eggheads, you know. We're manual labor. It's an ancient thing, pretty dangerous, and we don't really know much beyond that. Before we came here, some tech priests had done their own bit of gutting. I mean, ritualing, bowing to the spirits, all that. That lot don't tend to leave a whole lot of valuables behind, it's true, but it's way too scary to go in before them. And hey, we dragged a dozen of their broken servitors out of the mines after. Carcasses smell awful, but you can pluck a decent number of parts out of a servitor and sell them. Doesn't seem like there's anything nasty living inside the wreck now, but the wreck itself is barely holding together. Got a couple of modules from here, and that's it. You won't take another step without fearing that a broken reactor might cook you alive, or a whole module might depressurize. It's nothing we haven't handled before, so we're having a poke at it. But we don't have a clue what this ship is or who it belonged to. Take pride in your trade, I see. Sure do. It takes skill and luck and a good head on your shoulders. We risk our lives every day crawling on top of these old buckets. If something goes wrong, we die. But the score is sometimes. One moment we're there, and the next we're gone, kind of like worker ants. But you know what, your ladyship? Our job also has something, how should I put it, poetic about it. Hope you don't judge me too harshly, and don't take it as insolence, but some people, even big people like you, think too highly of themselves. Let's say your ship hops into the warp someday and doesn't hop out of it in time. And around 1,000 years later, another gal like myself, who needs to feed her 3 ankle biters somehow, will be rifling through its remains, looking for anything good. That's just the nature of things. Each of us comes and goes, but the way the world works stays the same. We all have our lot in life, and mine's just as good as any other. Okay. Nonsense. There are those who are great and those who are nothing. That is the nature of things. Speak as if the world is set in stone, and none of us can change anything for the better. I do not talk back to me. Another word about me thinking too highly of myself. Okay? Speak as if the world is set in stone, and none of us can change anything for the better. There's some big things you're talking about. Way out of my depth. Change for the better? Heck, that'd be nice. Retta pauses to think. If I was younger and didn't have 3 youngsters back home, maybe I would dream about stuff like that too. But as it is, I've got no time for dreaming. I've got to work. I can take you from this place. It's not safe here, and sooner or later it will drift somewhere so remote that nobody will ever find you again. But this is our whole livelihood, your ladyship. Take us from here, and what are we gonna do? Sit in some hold, slaving away? Here, we've got our own colony, our own operation. Now, this is our path, and we won't stray from it. Alright, I see. Alright, got it. Your ladyship, Retta falters as if flustered by her own nerve. Please don't take it as insolence, but it's not like I have much choice. It's not often that we get well-stocked ships around here, and we could certainly use more provisions and some warm clothes. If it's something you'd be willing to provide, we would gladly barter for it with whatever we can dig up inside this here ship. It's just a respectful offer of fair trade. She bows slightly before stepping aside. Oh, yeah, sure. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. The simple machinery and tools look a little worn, but well maintained. A working area where fragments of the ship are dismantled in search of scraps of valuable metals or parts. Ladiness, it's just rubbish. Now, why would you want to go through it? Hey? Hello there, your ladiness. A dump site of cut pieces of metal and other materials, probably from clearing out a path deeper into the ship.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Small selection of valuable finds, carefully sorted and packed. Whoa, check out the visitor over here. Must be someone big. The apparatus gurgles and emits a strong smell of alcohol. Probably not of the industrial variety. In this work of crude craftsmanship, you can just make out one of the depictions of the Emperor commonly seen in the Cornus Expanse. Damaged safe. The contents of similar safes are destroyed when hacking is attempted. You should not try to open it just like that, but something from the environment could help. Something is propped against the door from the inside. You can hear the piercing sounds of a saw and other tools coming from behind it. There's nothing here but cheap scrap. Among the wreckage was an instruction manual for the duty officer on how to access the safes. You can obtain the codes to the safes by logging into the ship's cogitators.
Oh, what lies beyond?
Oh, it's not letting me do stuff. Yes. Cogitator appears to be inoperative. Yeah. Multiple cogitators somewhere. Oh, yep.
The machine god grants me insight.
I can only guess that the next one's going to be like over here. Alright, the cogitator is off, but appears intact. You can try to power it from a local source.
Installation
Successfully logged in with the duty officer's credentials and obtained the code to the old safe.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Check out the visitors here. Cool dudes. Camellia line cloak. Mimic fibers blend the coloration of the wearer into their surroundings. The cloak grants the wearer 10 dodge, fire grenades, and fractal blade. Ooh. Wielder of this sword gains plus 25% bonus to parry. Well, I'll be. They opened it. Must be nice to be learned. We never would have cracked it. You're a way to, like, trade with people.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue threat.
I kind of want it, you know? Ask for, like, clothes and stuff. Escort team is guarding and inspecting your shuttle. Mad or anything, right? The lights keep flickering in the bowels of the dead ship as the recallers go through their usual tasks. Retta Maximova sends you her best regards and asks what the colony can do for the Rogue Trader. Offer necessary clothes to the colony. Retta thanks you for this generosity and sends back a cargo shuttle loaded with dismantled vessel components. It will be a while before the colony require another shipment. Their needs are satisfied for now, and regardless, the recallers need time to extract new components from the guts of the dead void ship and a supply shuttle. As politely as she can, Retta refuses the shipment. The colony's needs are met at present, and they simply have nothing with which to repay the rogue trader's generosity. Perhaps the recallers require your aid again at a later time. Okay. Okie dokie. What's this? Plasteel? 2. Be nice if we could buy scrap from them. Oh, Braddock. There it is. Finally found it. We'll go to this one first because it's only unsafe. Warp jump passed without incident. What? For everyone except the crew members on bridge duty. Oh. For the duration of the voyage, they heard laughter. It seemed to come from outside, through the airtight seal of the ship's massive windows. The laughter went on and on. The ship left the hostile immaterium and returned to real space. Gotta be something here. Really? Nothing? Oh. Ooh. Warp gate. Ocean world. But not the one we're looking for. This mining world has been cataloged as normal. No rare or valuable deposits have been detected. Alright. Alright, enemies of humanity. See if we can defeat this bunch. We did level up. So we have some new abilities and stuff. Oh, Iconoclast. Of course they all get to go first. Like 5 of them. I want an Iconoclast. Ooh. Ban. Okay, that one's a ways away. That now. One down. One down. There. Damn it. What's this? Ram. Alright. Oh, I did that. Okay, way too late, I mean. Damn, that was like far away. Alright. I get them? No. Yucked up. Fucked up weird. My char took the damage before that even did the ding. I don't think increasing range by 2 will cause that to... Yeah, if it was 3, it would work. Apostate lance.
Engage the lance! Sail upon the seas of void. Unleash our fury. That is, of course, right where I got to go. I should have done that first. I'm a fucking idiot. Fucking warp though. Just average. Oh. Doing surprise me. Rip them apart!
There we go. Pew pew pew.
The dark void will erase their colors.
Galleon Ceramite Void Ship Plating. Negating 7 points of damage on the port and starboard. And 3 points on the fore and aft. Dark Halo, Unholy Artifact. Alright. If up cultists. And let's see. 4 shots. But they're short range. 14 speed with low acceleration. I don't really know what that means. Like 4 for each. 1, 4, 4, 4. One is a witch, though. I'm 733. That. That on, just so that we can see what it do. $115. Warp gate. Surely nothing bad can happen here. Lord Captain, we are passing by a construct marked on the star charts as a dimensional gate. Our augurs are not showing any suspicious energy readings. The device is dormant, thank the Emperor. What is this gate? An ancient Xeno artifact, older than humanity itself. Judged by its design, this is a gate leading somewhere. Possibly straight into the wicked abyss of the warp, considering all the nasty shit that used to roam around here. Many captains, her ladyship Theodore included, have tried to reveal its secrets, but it seems that no one could figure out how it works. Good for them, if you ask me. What was Theodore interested in? Her ladyship didn't exactly share her plans with us, always kept them close to her chest. But I'll go out on a limb and say she was searching for a way to open the gate and see what's on the other side. The Cognizance Fleet conducted its own analysis of this Xeno artifact. All records of the expeditions to the site were added to the exploration catalog. Nasty in what way exactly? I don't want to repeat the rumors, and I don't know the truth, but it was bad. There was word of ships and even whole trade convoys disappearing. Captains started avoiding the system, until eventually the Lord Inquisitor came here and made short work of it. Hasn't been much in the way of rumors ever since, actually. The Inquisition made sure voidsmen kept their mouths shut. Whatever the gate used to spew out, it must have been profane and a danger to humanity. Or received. We live to serve, Lord Captain. I want to study it. Lord Captain, I would advise against approaching the gate. The Inquisition has declared the entire area around it off limits and packed it with mines. Our augurs won't be able to detect them. Alright, we shall ignore them. Consider it done. You. Fire broke out on the decks during the warp voyage. The raging disaster consumed the entire chamber, destroying precious cargo and damaging the interior plating. No guilty parties were found. While clearing out the rubble, a few people claimed the soot on the plasteel beams formed lines in a cryptic alien language not known to humans. Delirious workers were executed and their bodies disposed of in the proper manner. Okay. Enibris. Okay. Warp emanations have filled the plasma drive bay. Demons, having appeared out of thin air, are twisting the appearance and minds of the crew. Some of the voidsmen are being turned into mutant psychers. This incursion must be stopped at once. Fill the dice and cleanse of the warp spawn, albeit at the blood of hundreds of voids. Goddamn routes. No route to there, huh? Unknown ships, space battle. A violent battle is unfolding before the Rogue Trader's eyes. Patrol ships from the Corda fleet are tearing apart two small Aldari vessels. Once they are finished with them, the Void ships give chase after the third, already damaged vessel, clearly with the intention of destroying it as well. Seeing the last ship's impending death, Irelet calls out to the Lord Captain, her voice trembling slightly. Only the Rogue Trader's intervention can save her kin from the massacre. Send a message to Incendia Corda's fleet, ordering them to stop the battle. The Voxmaster relays the Lord Captain's demand to stop the battle, and soon returns with a reply. According to the Corda ships, this group of Xenos are malicious criminals. They are guilty of raiding this system's planets and robbing merchant vessels. Incendia Corda's void ships are intent on performing their duty before the Emperor and exterminating Xenos. Also, look at this cool neutron star right here. Irelet sullenly watches the unfolding chase through the stained glass windows of the captain's bridge. She grimly concedes that no crime should go unpunished, except her kin were flying transport ships. It would have been impossible for them to rob a ship, let alone launch a planetary raid. Vessels such as theirs simply lack the firepower to do so. The Monkey are lying. Analyze the intact Xeno ship. Despite the presence of some weaponry, the Xeno ship is more likely meant for transporting cargo or the Xenos themselves rather than direct combat. Proof, please. The patrol's captain reluctantly admits that there is no conclusive proof. This system is sometimes the target of pirate raids, however, this changes nothing, for his servants have no mercy for the enemies of humanity. Ooh. I called down for dinner. I mean, we'll try it. Might not succeed. Oh shit, it succeeded. Never mind. Unwilling to engage in open battle against the flagship of foreign dynasty, the patrol reluctantly leaves its prey and retreats to the edges of the system. Meanwhile, the wounded Xeno ship is rapidly distancing itself from the recent battlefield, attempting to hide in the shadow of the nearest world. Every attempt to contact it is met with frustration, and the Voxmaster reports that the vessel is in deplorable condition. Who knows how much more the Xeno technology can endure before the irreparable happens. The Aldari are too scared and resentful of the Monkey for the recent deaths of their kin to answer incoming hails. Despite this, Irelet is certain that she can convince them to cooperate with the Elantak if she is allowed to speak with them. 2 watches pass, and the Xenos finally decide to answer Irelet's pleas concerning the Elantak's assistant. Guardedly asking how exactly a Monkey can help their vessel, the Aldari note that the humans' primitive technologies are incapable of healing the Aldari's vessel's wounds. The sudden benevolence of one human is equally incapable of bringing back those who perished in the recent engagement. We'll come to that decision. After boop, I am back. I had burritos for dinner. For leftovers. Pretty good. Alright, so we're currently... We had just rescued some Aldari ships from Incendia Cordas, another rival rogue trader, as vessels that were attacking them. And their ship's about to blow, basically. So, that one. The Eldari accepted their fate with forced humility. They do not resist, but neither do they appear uplifted by their rescue. They see their stay on the Monkey ship as imprisonment filled with uncertainty about what awaits them next. After a few watches, Xenos' suspicions are validated. The presence of outsiders who filled the lower deck was perceived by ordinary people as an invasion of godless mutants. Shouting prayers to the Emperor, they rushed to depressurize the compartment containing the Xenoses, along those who were touched by the filth of the unclean. Horrible news shakes Irelet. She blames herself for the death of her kin and regrets the hatred of the Monkai toward her kind, foolish product of fear. Rogue Trader sends punitive squads to lower decks to hunt those responsible for the Xenos' deaths. Irelet can only shake her head. Monkai deaths will not bring her kin back to life. It will only spread even greater hatred. Yep. Alright. In that case. Ah, shit. Go back. In that case, I'm fine with this. It's before I did this. Yep. What's the gate? Bruh. Okay. Okay. They were like the same exact warp things that happened there. Before entering. Okay. Okay. Mercifully grant the Xenos provisions and medicines. Xenos half-heartedly thanked the rogue trader and turned their ship toward distant stars and inevitable death in the void. No words are exchanged on the bridge, but everyone understands that the wounded ship will never make it there. A few Terran days later, a blue flash at the edge of the system confirms the vessel's unfortunate fate. And only the thin figure of the Eldari stands motionless against the backdrop of the intricate stained glass windows, mourning the fallen in solemn silence. Once the pain in Irelet's soul is numbed, she turns to the Lord Captain and nods, a short gesture of gratitude for their attempt to save those who could hardly be saved. Better fate than what the other option was. I like how it like swings around the planet there. So to like get in orbit. Ooh, the mirror. Oh, that's spooky. Mirror shit is always spooky. Oh, okay. I was hoping that I wouldn't hit that. What's going on here? These are probably the pirate raiders, huh? Alert! The Drukhari have blocked some of your flagship posts using an unknown Xenos power. Your crew will regain control of their posts in several rounds. Oh. The fuck? Guessing that's this. Post of the Master of Maneuvers. Damaged. Post of the Master of Etherics. Damaged. Damn it. Those were like my big one. Oh. Where's the other one? This way. Sigil class destroyer. That's spooky looking. Planning out. There. What is this? Leech torpedoes.
Lance!
Okay, so it doesn't seem to have like any thingamawhatsits. What is going on there? Obsidian Shadow Field. An eerie and unfathomable haze obscures the vessel. Enemies suffer a minus 25% penalty to hit chance when attacking from within a 2-cell range, and a minus 75% penalty to hit when attacking from outside that range. Holy shit. Shield is removed upon firing and has a chance to be re-engaged at the start of the ship's turn or in response to enemy fire that causes hull damage. Okay, so now we need to get like super close.
Initiate macro cannon barrage!
Okay. Force it to move that way. Damn, that thing can move. Interesting that it moves first before going. Avoid me. That at least. Oh. Oh. I wanna undo that movement. There we go. Mentioning that we've got like a lot more swing to it now. Like before we could only go like basically like that, but now we're actually able to completely turn around with it. So I could do this. Have to go the full area. If I were to go there, no, I have to go like there to get most things that I want. Alright, 75% miss chance. Let's go. Oh, we hit. Fuck yeah. Miss. Oh, down a little bit there. scared by that destroyer. And because it has the name Destroyer in it. There it is. Marked for purge. Okay. This. Yeah, only one. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's see. What's that? There. First.
Unleash
Okay.
fury.
Good. Pew pew. Already did that one. Go. Okay, no, don't blow up a ship right next to you. I suppose that should be common sense, huh? Right here. Oh. We missed. Wait, this. Oh. Damn it. This thing hasn't fired on us yet. Oh, they scanned me. Now I have like a super long.
Set
Do
course.
it. Test out that new RAM upgrade. What? Be used during the acceleration phase. Fuck. I guess that's the red bit. I don't know. Alright, that time we didn't give it enough.
Technological superiority was
Sweep loop void.
obvious.
110 void combats. Okay. Area is now safe-ish. Last deal, 2, not worth. A vigilant member of the Augur crew has detected a small Xenos vessel drifting through the void. Ship is unpowered and shows no signs of being crewed. Send out a boarding shuttle. Squad boarded the vessel without issue. Corrosion had laid waste to the ship's system, which led to the death of the entire crew. The interior is full of Aldari corpses. No weapons were found on board, and the dead Xenos, judging by their clothing, were not part of any warrior caste, merely the crew of a now defunct ship. The Xenos Irlet claims to have recognized the symbols on the dead Aldari's clothes. They were civilians from the craft world Cruderak. Oh. Oh, so it's like a civilian transport ship. A mining world. It looks to me like a filthy, inhospitable hole where loyal subjects freely toil in fathomless mine shafts, centuries after century, usually until death. Really finding a whole lot of nothing on these. We leveled up. Now level up. Okay. What do we want? Why do I have a -5? Malediction. Right, the PTSD. That makes sense, actually. Ah, right. My character's traumatized from witnessing a world fall to the warp. I forgot about that. I mean, this would increase our toughness. Like, we would get health from that. Max awareness. Increase the chance of resisting negative mental effects in like hours. Why can't I get that? Intelligence. We can go with ballistic. Persuade. All right. Only need more coercion. Okay, yeah. There's more of that. Athletics. Oh, can't get that. Of course not. Boo. Also affects the skill. It affects the damage a character inflicts with melee weapons and allows them to lift heavier objects. For each bonus point of you deal 1 additional damage. Demolition. I would bring it up to 40. How much character reduces the enemy's chances to successfully dodge their attacks? It increases it by 3%. Everybody seems to be this. Let's go with Medicaid. I don't think. Yeah. Okay, he's good at Medicaid. You're really good at Medicaid. Okay, never mind. You don't need Medicaid. Crack. Demolition, I guess. Or Imperium also work. And she's got a lot of lore. Demolition it is. Ballistic skill she can't get. We can bring that up though. That'll also further increase her demolition. Very nice. Okay. Persuasion you don't need because my main character has it. Lore Imperium might be nice. Awareness might be nice. My last character tends to be kind of swapped out regularly, so 90, 100. Lore Warp. How are we doing on Lore Warp? 70. How is that? 70 plus 20? 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, yeah. All of it together. Nobody really has Lore Warp. We'll go with that. And then what do your navigator abilities rely on? I want to get like more willpower. Oh, I like. Hold on. I never really realized that. Well, it only seems to have like the first couple. Yeah, we'll go willpower. That is pretty good so far. medicate for you. And get either of these. Already upgraded them. Nice. Get some agility. Get you some agility. Other perception. Yeah, we've already got pretty decent perception. Can't give you Xenos. And give you awareness, though. Good Inquisitor. Agility. One of the lures. Damn, she's got a lot of willpower. Ability. Wait, the mirror. This planet is devoid of even the most primitive forms of life. However, the crew has made quite the strange discovery. A mirror lying right in the center of a huge crater. A completely ordinary mirror in a frame, by all appearances, in pristine condition. That's sus as fuck. That is so incredibly suspicious. Like not even, like, horrible. Like, it's just terribly, terribly suspicious. Sure, we'll take it. The mirror now hangs on the wall in one of the compartments. It looks completely normal. However, only an hour after its arrival, the Voxmaster reports that the shuttle crew that delivered the mirror has disappeared. The people who hung the mirror have also disappeared. Even the enforcer who wandered into the compartment by mistake and stopped to fix his new non-regulation cravat has vanished without a trace. I mean, it's obvious that they're, like, in the mirror, right? Dispatch a group of servitors to jettison the mirror. Dispatch a group to smash the mirror. Blow it up. Blow up the entire compartment with the mirror inside. We could wait. About 3 watches after the shuttle's crew's disappearance, strange squelching and snapping sounds are heard coming from the mirror compartment, accompanied by a putrid odor. Keep waiting. Yet more abnormal noises joined the ungodly symphony playing behind the compartment door. The squelching and snapping were soon joined by rattling, wheezing, and growling. Sensors also detected an increase in the ship's mass in the area near the compartment. Soon, faint human voices could be heard, begging to be saved. Open the door. The compartment was brimming with biomatter, strange creatures and plants floating in streams of a slimy substance, revealed to be a type of mold upon closer inspection. The missing crew members were also found inside, terrified and unable to remember anything. They returned to awareness while still inside the compartment. They had been only half an hour away from drowning in the biomatter still oozing from the mirror. After analyzing all the available data, the Lord Captain and the officers concluded that the mirror's function in lines with the rotation cycle of the planet on which it was found. During the first phase, the mirror absorbs all organic life reflected in it. During the second phase, the mirror regurgitates the organic material it has consumed, starting with the simplest organisms and progressing to more complex ones. Get rid of the mirror by any means. Get rid of the mirror and the rescued crew members. Keep it. The crew seem numb with horror as they hear the order. I love that. Beautiful. Right. Cool. Augurs. Alright. Send in a team with righteous prayers on their lips. Team sent to destroy the mirror stopped responding the moment they entered the compartment. Yep. Wait. Okay. About 3 watches after they were accompanied by a putrid odor. Open the door. There was streaks of some odd slimy substance interspersed with clumps of what looks like moss and growths hanging from the ceiling. Further inspection shows that the mirror is actively secreting biomatter, including fast-growing mold spores. Keep waiting. Open the door. Alright. Get rid of the mirror. This time, the sinister mirror does not cause any trouble. Servitors drag it to the disposal suit, where they jettison it. Augurs track the mirror on its flight, indicating that it is still leaking biomatter. However, all strange incidents on the ship have ended, and the crew can now continue their journey. Neato. Righteous. Alright. Nola Septum. The steady rhythm of life aboard the vessel is disrupted when, on the 4th wash of the voyage, the lower decks had their gravity reversed. The stunned denizens of the afflicted sectors were woken up by being torn from their assigned beds and tossed onto the ceiling. Numerous injuries and fatalities were reported. The difficulties in performing regular duties due to the gravity reversal continued until the end of the journey. After the ship exited the warp, the gravity returned to the accepted norm, an event that once again was accompanied by deaths and injuries among the crew. The Material released us from his grip. Boing. The big old planets. Lithium. 7 of it. Hive City. Santiel's Pride. Two adamantine. When did we take damage? Time to visit the big city. The Santiel's Pride hives are oozing nauseous haze veined with sulfurous streaks. The promethium fumes from the gigantic distilling cauldrons located beyond the temperature shields. Vast, endless deadlands littered with spots of promethium stations and refineries separate the colossi of rockcrete and adamantine with its crown of gargantuan spires. The heat of this system's star has turned this world into a boiling but lucrative gland within the body of the House Quarter Protectorate. It's hard to tell what's more impressive, the grotesque grandeur of this place or its extreme toxicity. We can't do anything there yet, it would seem. Frozen Prince. Okay. Krennic. It was discovered that one of the smaller vats in Engine Hall 5, which should have been filled with wastewater, instead contained a liquid that looked like blood. This incident was deemed not to be of serious concern, and everything went back to normal as soon as the ship returned to real space. Fucking fuss. Krennic. Lord Captain, according to telemetry, we are in the system of Kiava Gamma, the main industrial world of the Von Valancius dynasty. However, our astropaths report that attempts to contact Governor Gaprak have been unsuccessful. But wait, the Voxmaster is silent for a few seconds. Lord Captain, new report. Kiava Gamma is sending a request to exchange data. Should we accept it? Reply with our own request. As you command, Lord Captain. The Voxmaster switches to a nearby comm channel to relay your instructions to the crew. For several minutes, nothing happens. Lord Captain, reporting. Manufactorum is ignoring all our requests and continues to send us its own. The longer we do not accept their messages, the stronger and more persistent the incoming signal become. I've never seen anything like. Suddenly, a deafening screech erupts from the bridge's Vox system. You hear violent tirades of garbled binary code, like the low chuckles of machinery. Lord Captain, interference detected in the compartment's Vox system. Looks like the bridge is cut off from the rest of the void ship. We got hacked. We got fucking hacked. Sector Corners Expanse. Region, Cinerus Maleficum. Location, Krynak. Material, picked report on events on the bridge when entering Kiava Gamma. Recorded by Servo Skull Watcher 16. Start of picked recording. The void ship's bridge. Sounds of working cogitators and officers' footsteps. The everyday scene is interrupted by an ear-splitting beeping sound, followed by lumens going out. In the dim glow of candles and emergency lights, one of the officers in frame cries out. Another falls to her knees, clutching her head. Over the beeping of Vox's, shouts can only be heard. What's going on? The doors are locked. We've lost contact with all compartments. One of the bridge officers turns to the throne. Lord Captain, the Vox stations are malfunctioning and overloading the system. None of our outgoing transmissions are getting through. The incoming ones that do make it are distorted beyond interpretation. Lord Captain gives order to decipher the incoming Vox transmission at all costs. Decipher it. Proceed. A team of decryption experts get to work. Data tethers are inserted into sockets as they connect to the cogitators. One of the Vox clerics leans over the console. Another is writing something on a piece of parchment, but then she bursts into maniacal laughter and stabs herself in the eye with a steel quill. Another scream. A tech priest, who is mid-prayer, tears himself to pieces with his own mechadendrites. More and more lunatics are mutilating themselves and lunging at others. Portion of picked recording damaged after contact with unknown object. Enforcer shoves her rabid servitor away from the Lord Captain as she... Okay. Rushes to help the crew, shouting out orders. Executes one of the lunatics and roars a series of orders to the rest. Begins methodically exterminating any who show signs of madness. Rushes to help the crew, shouting out orders. The image of the Pict is fuzzy. Nothing but glimpses of people shouting, racket, and the Lord Captain's orders. Within minutes, the crazed crew members are either dead or bound and unconscious. The officers clustered around the Lord Captain are barely breathing, but unharmed. Scrap code. The voice belongs to an on-deck engine seer who has turned to the Lord Captain from his station. We have been attacked with scrap code, a tech heresy designed to corrupt machines. The transmission received from the planet was infected with this taint, and it is now running through the ship's veins. Omnissiah, preserve us. The Voidborn officer appears before the Lord Captain. Once more. Whatever it is that's attacking us, we have a backup procedure that can circumvent the Vox barrier. In the atrium leading to the bridge, there is a terminal for an isolated system that might still be unaffected. A loud pop. Pipes over the officer's heads burst, and a blast of hot air flings the Voidborn away from the Lord Captain, his body slamming straight in through a cogitator panel. The picked frame spins uncontrollably. The servo skull was jolted by the gust. The picked recorder fogs over, the Vox picking up the crackling of electricity and a death cry. Gas on the bridge! A junior attendant shouts, and instantly doubles over, inhaling the poisoned air. The Lord Commander gives the order to evacuate immediately. Commands the crew to carry on with their duties until the very last. Runs for her life from the bridge. Evacuate? The Rogue Trader personally oversees the evacuation. Bring the plasma cutters. Get the wounded to the exit. The officers repeat her orders. The servo skull following the Rogue Trader reaches the doors. They fall to the plasma cutters and crumble outward. The Rogue Trader is the last to leave the bridge. Leaning on a support beam. Rouse test. The Rogue Trader takes several deep breaths, trying to flush her lungs with air. Then she straightens, smooths her uniform, and heads towards a goal known only to her. The servo skull follows. Ooh. The atrium is in a state of panic. Silhouettes skitter about in the dark hole, illuminated only by the flickering of emergency lumens. Curt orders and someone's feverish words of prayer can be heard. Having lost all communication, the beheaded ship is writhing in agony. It takes a while for the Lord Captain to find the cogitator mentioned by the fallen officer. The panel of the isolated terminal is riddled with cracks and bloodstains, and on the floor by the terminal a tech priest is lying in a heap with his head smashed and technical liquids mixed with blood oozing out of his ports. The Lord Captain decides to take her chances restoring the terminal. Rogue Trader rips the power key off the tech priest's mechadendrite and opens the cover on the terminal. Sparks fly into her face, but she's confident in her manipulation of the tangled wires and clanging levers. After replacing the cover and ensuring that the system is restored, The Lord Captain brings up the required data on the screens. The maintenance bay is sending out hundreds of desperate distress calls that have gone unanswered up to now. When the machines went out of control and started turning people insane, others, driven by some hateful and paranoid logic, started butchering the servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The tech priests have sustained heavy losses, but the remains of the cult are still holding the line. Out of everything that's happening on the ship, the situation in the maintenance bay is the direst. Lord Captain knows where help is needed most. She decides to head to the maintenance bay herself. The Rogue Trader arrives not a moment too soon. The crew, frightened out of their wits, have already cornered the priests of the Omnissiah and are about to execute them. The Lord Captain stands between the angry mob and the tech priests, her sheer presence already giving the crowd pause, harshly cutting off any objections from the crew. The Rogue Trader orders the officers she gathered on the way here to escort the mutineers out and set up a guard post outside the bay where the tech priests begin to offer desperate prayers to the crippled machine spirits. Turn to the bridge. The walk to the bridge is uneventful. The crisis is past. Although wounded and crippled, the ship nevertheless is returning to its normal operation. Life on the bridge is as bustling as ever, even though the people are surrounded by destruction. The senior officers have the situation under control, and the people have been organized. The emergency crew has already finished repairing the pipes, the technomats are setting up cogitators and consoles, and the healers are bagging up what few corpses there are and examining the wounded. By the comm station, the Rogue Trader runs into the Voxmaster. Praise the Emperor, you're in one piece, Lord Captain. Situation on board is satisfactory. I was just in the middle of setting up comm channels. Soon all the Voxcasters will be fully operational. Another man appears in the pict frame, a junior officer, completely out of breath, carrying a heap of scrolls. The Voxmaster nods at him. Here are the reports, Lord Captain. If you find yourself able to return to your station, I can immediately give you a rundown of the state of affairs on the ship. End of pict recording. Lord Captain? The Voxmaster's voice is quivering with exhaustion. The situation has been brought under control, more or less. It will take some time to eliminate the consequences of the attack completely, but the vessel is capable of motion. We may even be able to conduct a warp jump if you feel we should leave the system. Allow me to bring you up to date. Fortunately, the bridge suffered only minor losses. The reports mention only few casualties that have already been replaced. Java Gamma went silent after transmitting the harmful signal. I will refrain from sending inquiries to the industrial world to avoid a second attack. I'm afraid we have exhausted our options for remote analysis. More information can only be obtained by closing the distance, or even sending an away party to the planet's surface. Vox clicks as Heinrich joins the channel. The time has come to remind you about our agreement, Medea. I must be present in your entourage during your expedition on Kiava Gamma. I'm counting on your cooperation. Crew is awaiting further instructions, Lord Captain. You know what it is? Unforeseen event. Always like the little narrative vignettes that happen. Right. This dwarf planet is marked on the Von Valanchus Protectorate charts as Atle, or Adel, and serves as a backup source of water for the habitable worlds of neighboring systems. Due to the abundance of bacteria proliferating on the Adel's hydrosphere, the extraction of ice was stopped half a century ago, but to your officer's surprise, the augurs detect an unidentified mining rig deep underground. Presumably, the excavation is aimed at extracting clay minerals near the planet's core, enriched with iron and other metals. Send a scouting party, contact the Extractium's Vox station. You could do either of these. contact first. The Extractium turns out to be Insignia Corda's latest investment, whose domain is located just within a few jumps of the Kranach system. While this world is of little value to the von Valankis dynasty, your officers see this gesture as an attempt to test the boundaries of the newly minted Rogue Trader's leniency. The Seneschal considers this act unacceptable and insists on confiscating, rebasing this extractium that was illegally set up in the von Valankis territory. Magos Pastel notes the unusual composition of Adel's core. Subsequent development will allow the extraction of rare refractory metals, heeding his advice, and decides to keep the extractium for herself. The Rogue Trader graciously allows Insignia to feed on crumbs unworthy of the von Valankis dynasty. Destroy it. And orders everyone on the illegal mining rig and send their heads to Insignia Corda with the very best of wishes. I like this one. Your people easily assume control as the frightened workers and the token security crew do not even attempt to resist. The Extractium's machines are restarted shortly after, and the amassed containers filled with precious ores are delivered to the flagship's cargo hold. Oh, it's just plasteel? Only 3. Oh, there we go. Now we've got it. Alright. Alright. Get rid of these ships. And then we'll leave actually going on to Kiava Gamma for next time. Alright, what are we up against? Destroyer, Raider. 2, 3, Raider. Okay. Raider, destroyer. 80. What the? 50. Okay.
Engage the lance!
Miss. That way. That one turned that way.
The destination is known.
Might be able to get this before it even goes. There we go. Let's fucking go. Oh, these things. Oh, wait, no. That's a Raider. Bold decision. Especially going right in front of me.
twisted song?
Absorption potential exceeded. Void shield is non-functional.
Macro. Those are 30. Just swing.
Plants!
Oh. Oh. Corrupted melted ring. Kidding me?
Got them.
Like, we should win right now. Alright. Let's see. We got a 2% chance, 15% crit chance. Oogly doogly. Hello, jump. Forward direction, 5 cells. Brave. Field posts, focused efforts, reinforced shields. Enemy has shields, they are moved to the opposite side from where the attack hits. The enemy has a hollow field, it loses several of its charges. Posts can also negatively impact Xenos technology. There's 25% of my shields, though. Be straight. Improved RAM. Okay. Let's see. Improved RAM. Deals twice the additional damage for each extra tile traveled. Sanctified restart. Restart shields now inflicts only -2 speed reduction and no firing range penalty. Silent running. When approaching an enemy, the flagship shuts down non-essential systems and starts to drift unnoticed past enemy ships. As a result, in most encounters, larger enemy vessels, frigates and larger, are surprised and act later. That would actually be pretty nice. Take it all now collects 10% more scrap from destroy. Oh, that sounds so good. Bird repair requires less scrap. That's also pretty good. I want both. Steady hand. When using post abilities, there is a 20% chance its cooldown will be shortened by 1 round. 50% chance. I like all of these. When's the next time? Flagship developments. I'm gonna get these pretty often, actually. Ultimate post abilities. Jesus, you get 2 of them. Actually, gonna get quite a lot of these in the future, it looks like. Now let's get that 10%. Or no. Ooh. Rugged repair. Make it cheaper to repair things. Which now I wish I hadn't repaired stuff before going into that. 215, 155. Is that new thing we got right there? Has a pretty significant crit chance, though. Sure, we'll test it out. Might as well. Also, holy shit, that's also already close to the next one. Ah. We are gonna end it here for today. Boop.